9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the head of state presides over the 7th meeting of the Council of Ministers. For the international scene, a mass grave discovered in the courtyard of a hospital in Khan Yunis in Gaza. Welcome to our newsroom. Under the chairmanship of His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, President of the Republic, Head of Government, the 7 sessions of the Council of Ministers took place this Tuesday, April 23, 2024. The following texts were examined and approved. Presidency of the Republic. The first question is communication on the 2023 annual report on the activities of the National Public Procurement Commission. The Secretary General of the Government has made a communication on the 2023 annual report of the National Public Procurement Commission in accordance with the provisions of the Public Procurement Code. Public procurement, the process by which public bodies acquire goods and services via an open and competitive procedure, represents a significant part of the national economy. It is a cornerstone of fairness and transparency for social justice and contribute to creating jobs, strengthening social protection, and increasing tax revenue. The Commission National of the Public Market, aware of the importance of efficiency, accountability, and integrity in the management of public resources, has undertaken major reforms over the past 10 years. These reforms have led to a significant improvement in the efficiency of public procurement, notably by streamlining file processing times, building the capacity of Commission's members, and establishing mechanisms for transparency and complaint management. During 2023, the CMMP validated and awarded 276 contract for a total amount of 44 billion 837 million 761,646 Djibouti franc. Its annual 2023 annual report highlights the reforms undertaken in the statistical data for the previous year and the outlook for the current year. The report aims to inform political decision makers, the business community, researchers, civil society, and general public about procurement activities. With this in mind, he highlighted the reforms carried out by the CMMP to reinforce the notions of national preference in public procurement through the systematic inclusion of this principle in financing agreements and tender documents. Finally, he indicated that this report, which is entirely available online, is in line with the authorities' desire to strengthen communication and accountability and the need to share with all our fellow citizens the activities and reforms achieved during 2023. The second question is draft decree appointing the member of the Regulatory Council of the Djibouti's multi-sectoral regulatory authorities. The purpose of the draft decree is appointed that the members of the Regulatory Council of the Djibouti multi-sectoral regulatory authorities is to appoint the members who will make up this body in accordance with the law 74E and 28L in its Article 15. The Regulatory Council is the deliberative and decision-making bodies of the regulatory authorities responsible for defining and guiding its general policy as well as evaluating its management within the framework of the missions entrusted to it. The purpose of this draft decree is to formalize the appointment of the members of the Regulatory Council, thereby finalizing the operationalization of Djibouti's multi-sectoral regulatory authority. This step is part of the implementation of efficiency and transparent regulations of the various sectors concerning in order to promote economic development and ensure compliance with the standards and rules in force. Ministry of Economy and Finance in charge of industry. The third question, draft law ratifying the concessional financing agreement for the Djibouti agro-business support project. The purpose of the draft law is to ratify a financing agreement for a total amount of 2.6 billion Djibouti franc, 15 million US dollar, between the Republic of Djibouti and the International Development Association within the framework of the project entitled Projet de filière agricole résiliente. This project aims to focus investment on growth pole with the higher economic potential in order to maximize the impact of scarce resources and attract private investment in agribusiness. This project to support industries will focus on a limited numbers of selected values chain, in particular fruit and vegetables, small ruminant, milk and meat, eggs and fodder productions. The project will also support diversification related values chain activities such as honey and date productions, agrotourism and aromatic medicinal plants. The resilient agricultural sector project is designated around the following components: structuring Djibouti's agri-food producer through a legislative and regulatory framework adapted to this sector, partial substitutions of food import, improving production, processing and marketing in the animal production sector, livestock, setting up basic infrastructure and public services in rural areas, and promoting the transfer of the latest innovative solutions and technologies. The Ministry of Youth and Culture. The fourth question, the project of the adoption of the national political of youth and culture. The purpose of the bill is to adopt the national youth and culture policy for the period 2023-2027 and its strategic action plan. Indeed, this document constitutes the reference framework for guiding the interventions and efforts of all players in the field of youth and culture up to 2027. The national youth policy has already created a favorable environment with actions and programs in favor of young people. Nevertheless, the multiplicity and dispersions of sectoral actions have considerably weakened the impact on the lives of the Djibouti's youth. Inadequate coordination between the various players involved in youth issues has resulted in the absence of an integrated approach. Hence, the importance of developing a national strategy for youth and culture. In the area of youth, the strategy aims to develop vocational training, economic integration, health, and the fuel and effective participation of young people in social and political life. On the one hand, the development of physical, sporting, recreational, and cultural activities. On the other hand, in order to considerably reduce unemployment and underemployment, idleness, and precariousness. The national policy framework documents is structured around 5 areas of intervention, namely the economic and professional integration of young people, socio-cultural integration, socio-political commitment, the fight against drug and alcohol abuse, and the development of youth volunteerism and the cultural sphere. The strategy aims to provide young people with the means to reappropriate their cultural heritage through formal and informal education. These acquisitions involves learning national languages, studying oral productions for primary school through the to university, and safeguarding the country's rich and diverse heritage, which ranges from historical and archaeological sites to beautiful beaches and the richness of its seabed. To achieve this, it takes into the consideration areas such as the promotions of cultural identity, the safeguarding of heritage, and the consolidation of artistic and cultural education and skills development, as well as the strengthening of cultural governance with the increased decentralization. These bills propose an institutional mechanism for implementation accompanied by an operational plan. This national policy draws its inspiration from the Djibouti 2035 visions. Ministry of Health, the fifth question, draft decree on the organization and operation of health polyclinics. This draft decree sets out the organization and operations of health polyclinics. These polyclinics constitute an intermediary level in the health pyramid and offer a range of specialized care services in urban and peri-urban areas to populations in order to relieve congestions and eliminate bottlenecks at the Djibouti University Hospital Center. Their presence and operations help to ensure continuity of care and better management of patients at different levels of medical complexity. As intermediate healthcare structures, polyclinics plays an essential role in the coordination of care, prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of patients, thus helping to improve the accessibility and quality of healthcare services. The present draft decree aims to recognize the role of polyclinics in our healthcare system to ensure better health coverage and an appropriate response to the needs of the population. Finally, the establishment of the structures will help to improve our healthcare systems and ensure a better state of health and well-being for every individual in our country. Minister of Trade and Tourism, the sixth question is a draft decree defining the creations and organizations and operations and standardization technical committee. The purpose of this draft orders is to define the terms and conditions for the creations, organization, and operation of the standardization technical committee in accordance with the Article 24 of the Decree 2022 92 PRMCT of May 4, 2020 on the organization and operations of the Djibouti Standards and Quality Agency. Technical Committee for its standardization are essential bodies responsible for coordinating standardization activities in a specific file of a sector of activity. They play a crucial role as support structures for the agency in implementing annual standardization programs, thus contributing to the harmonization of standards and quality practices. The purpose of this draft decree is to provide a framework for the creation of technical standardization committee by setting out the procedures for their creations and the rules to be followed with regards to their organization and operation. The aim is to establish clear guidelines to guarantee the efficiency and consistency of standardization activities carried out by the city and communication. The Ministerial Council expressed its full support for the Minister of Foreign Affairs candidacy for the presidency of the African Union Commission next February. Mr. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Dean of the government, is a man of experience and a seasoned diplomat, head of the Djibouti's diplomacy since 2005. Mahmoud Ali Yusuf has everything it takes to meet the continent's expectations and interests. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation government spokesman spoke about his participation in the political and humanitarian conference on Sudan and his working visit to Paris from April 15 to 17, 2024. The Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources reported on his participation in the 14th sessions of the Assembly of the International Renewable Energy Agency held in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates from April 16 to 18, 2024. On the banks of the Council of Ministers, the Secretary General of the Government made a presentation on the report on the impact of public procurement on social protection and employment. He pointed out that social protection is emerging as a fundamental issue not only for the workers who shape the fabrics of our economy, but also for the companies that makes a significant contribution to our collective prosperity. He also reported on preparations for the regional symposium on public procurement to be held on April 24 and 25, 2024 in Tajura on the theme of public procurement as a tool for development. The conference will focus on 7 panelists, presentations of the CMMP 2023 reports, innovations, and all in public procurement. The impact of public procurement on social protection and job creations, people with the special needs in public procurement, corruptions in public procurement, public-private partnership, roadmap prospect for the year 2024-2025. During his visit to Abidjan, Minister Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud, the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, had the opportunity to take a close look to the structures belonging to the Côte d'Ivoire Ministry of Technical Education, Vocational Training, and Apprenticeship. Among these structures, 2 institutions particularly caught his attention: is the Institute, the Pedagogical National Pedagogical Institute and the Technique Professional, the High School of Abidjan, the Institute l'Institut pédagogique national de l'enseignement technique et professionnel in Abidjan plays a central role in the training of trainers and learners. Its primary role is to guarantee high quality initial in-service training for teachers and trainers of trainees. Minister Mahmoud Ali, Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud also visited the Lycée Technique d'Abidjan and the technical education institutions renowned for its diversity of course and expertise in vocational training. The Minister Mustafa Mohamed Mahmoud said for his part that the Lycée Technique d'Abidjan has also strives to maintain close links with the industrial player. In short, the Institut Pédagogique National de l'Enseignement Technique et Professionnel and the Lycée Technique d'Abidjan plays a crucial role in the Ivorian education system, effectively training both trainers and learners. To this establishment reinforced his belief in the importance of promoting similar partnership between Djibouti and Cote d'Ivoire in the field of technical education and vocational training. Inaugurated recently by the head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, this medical complex stands out as a benchmark in healthcare and cutting-edge technology, equipped with the latest medical advances and supported by a dedicated staff in embodies medical excellence in the country. The brand new building offers a pleasant functional setting with the 9 general practitioners providing consultations and on-call emergency services. Their commitment extends beyond urban boundaries, intervening in remote areas of the countries as well as in peacekeeping operations under the aegis of the African Union and United Nations, with 21 specialists spread across the country in all branches of medicines, and with the 4 more in training. The National Police Hospital guarantee comprehensive care, including in the surgical field with the 95 beds and 5 incubators. The National Police Hospital offers the following services: specialized medical and surgical consultation, medical emergency, multidisciplinary hospitalization, surgical activities, notably in the field of vascular, thoracic surgery, and repair of newborn malformations. Biological exploration in a high-performance laboratories run by Djiboutian experts. In addition to its state-of-the-art equipment and dedicated staff, the National Police Hospital stands out for its diversity of medical specialists. Areas sometimes are in the countries are available here, offering patients unprecedented access to specialized treatment from neurosurgery and interventional cardiology to trauma emergency medicines. This facility offers a full range of world-class medical services. The Minister of Women and Family organized a ceremony this morning to receive a donation of offices and computer equipment from Kaizen, financed by USAID. This initiative is part of the USAID Civil Society Engagement Project, which aims to build the capacity of civil society organizations while fostering partnerships between the CSO ministries and the regional councils in the 5 interior regions to better meet the needs of local communities. The ceremony was attended by the Minister of Women and Family, Muna Osman Aden, the USAID representative, Ms. Nancy Ostrovsky, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Women and Family, Anisa Hassan Badoun, and the Project Management Director, Ms. Roqia Ahmed Toubet. In her brief speech, the Minister for Women and Family underlined the importance of this equipment in strengthening the Ministry's operational capacity. Official speeches by Nancy Ostrovsky, USAID representative in Djibouti, expressed her satisfaction at the tangible result of this fruitful collaboration between the Djiboutian government and USAID. This event underscores USAID's long-term commitment to sustainable development in Djibouti and its willingness to support the government's efforts. Yesterday Monday, April 2024, at an official ceremony, USAID donated offices and computer equipment to the Ministry of Decentralization. The official handover ceremony for the offices, automation, and IT equipment took place in the meeting room of the Minister of Decentralization. The ceremony was presided over by the Minister of Decentralization, Qasim Harun Ali, attended by the USAID representative in Djibouti, the Ministry's executives and staff, and Kaizen, the project's executive agency. This generous donation is part of the project to support civil society engagement in the local development process funded by the U.S. government through USAID. The USAID project was keen to support and fill the need for office and computer equipment. This equipment handover is part of a wider initiative to strengthen decentralization. The ceremony underlines USAID's unwavering commitment to local development in Djibouti. The ceremony concluded with a guided towers to the equip the offices of the Ministry of Decentralization and Family for All. For his part, the Minister of Decentralization, Qasim Harun Ali, said that the USAID project was keen to support and fill the needs for office and computer equipment. This equipment handover is part of a wider initiative to strengthen decentralization. The ceremony underlines USAID's unwavering commitment to local development in Djibouti. Press conference on the launch of the second editions of the book fair. The Director General of the National Library and Archivist, together with the head of the department of his institutions and the General Commissioner of the Salon du Livre, yesterday morning's a press conference on the eve of the second editions of the book fair to be held on Wednesday, April 24, 2024. A major cultural event highlighting the challenges and opportunities facing the world and of the literatures in the country. This year's Salon du Livre will focus on three crucial priority objectives, which include the high cost of books and access to reading, literary creations, and the promotions of local languages. So we asked the official about the ins and outs of this event, which plays a pivotal role in promoting books, facilitating access to books, and therefore opening up opportunities for the reading public to meet writers. Continuing its tradition of scientific conference, Djibouti's Ministry of Higher Education and Research organized a major conference on the biotechnology of natural substances and environment. The event was held in the conference room of the Center of CERD, where international experts delivered a training workshop to students from the National Institute of Health Sciences and various hospitals in the capital. Emphasis was placed on the importance of research in these fields for sustainable development, environmental protection, and disease treatment. This initiative is part of the Djibouti's official accession International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology. Center for the Genetic, a significant new step for our country. Collaboration with the International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology promises to bring considerable benefit in the field of biotechnology, disease treatment, and species protection. The conference which cover
in the field of life sciences and biotechnology. As an integral intergovernmental organization, we are aligned with United Nations Common Systems and ICGB operates with the vision of foremost global leader in its domain, with the mission of focused on integrating scientific research with capacity enhancement. ICGB aims to foster sustainable global development, which is SDGs, which is very important for the growing economy throughout the world. In conclusion, I would be grateful to Italian Agency of Development Cooperation for allowing the strengthening the scientific cooperation between ICGB and Djibouti, and we are proud of its transformation work and boundless potential of this collaboration.
On Friday, April 19, 2024, His Excellency the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, officially launched the third General Census at the landmark ceremony in Djibouti. This historic event was closely followed by the nations in Obok on the mornings of Saturday, April 20, 2024. The Prefect of the Obok region, Musa Adan Migani, and the President of the Regional Council, Mohammed Hamad Ismail, together kicked off the census of the entire population of the Obok region. The census, the third of its kind, is a demonstration of the government's commitment to the well-being of its citizens. It aims to gather accurate up-to-date data on the population, thus providing a solid basis for policy development and programs aimed at improving the quality of life of all Djibouti's inhabitants. Local authorities are urging residents to participate fully in the vital process, stressing the importance of their input in ensuring reliable and representative data. The success of this census depends on everyone's collaboration, and every voice counts in building a better future for Djibouti and its people. The National Association of the Local Collectivity of Djibouti, ANCLD, has successfully organized a caravan of the ANCLD, an awareness-raising tour aimed at informing and mobilizing regional and communal council as part of the civil society project for local governance and development in Djibouti implemented by IEMF with the funding from the European Union. The Obok leg of this tour took place on April 2022-2024. The meeting was led by the President of the Obok Regional Council, accompanied by the President of the Dakhel Regional Council and the President of Balbala Commune. The entire IIF project team and the representative of the Ministry of Decentralization were also on the tower. The caravan of the NCLD brought together Obok's local councillor, the region's elders, representative of the various deconcentrated services, and leaders of the region's activist association. Some 60 participants in all during the tower. Awareness raisings and exchange sessions were held to highlight the challenges of decentralization and the obstacles facing local authorities. The active and enthusiastic participation of all those involved, combined with a warm welcome from the local population, helped to make the NCLD caravan an unqualified success. NCLD remains committed to supporting regional and communal councils in their effort to promote sustainable and inclusive local development. For the international scene, the Gaza Strip Civil Defense Services reported on Monday that the number of bodies discovered in the mass grave in the Nasser Medical Complex in the town of Khan Yunis had risen to 283. This figure was revised upwards after the recovery of 73 martyrs from the mass grave, according to a civil defense statement. Last Saturday, Gaza's civil defense announced the discovery of a mass grave in the courtyard of Nasser Hospital and the recovery of 50 bodies of different group and age, which had been brought together by Israeli forces and buried collectively. On April 7, the Israeli army announced its withdrawal from Khan Yunis 4 months after the start of ground operations to recover Israeli prisoners held by Hamas, but it left the town without achieving its objectives. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.